Hey, this is Jeff with the Building Boys. By trade, I'm a chiropractor, and I own other real estate ventures such as extended stay suites and long-term rentals. One day a week, I grow my passive income portfolio. In these videos, I will be working alongside my father building our next passive income stream, a senior citizen fourplex. Watch our videos and repeat the process for yourself so you can become financially free.
Up, and then we'll wrap this this frame with a 1x6.
Okay.
And then we'll put our 2x2 around the outside.
So kind of like a frame that you ripped a 2x4,
Right.
or a 2x6 down to how 2 inches?
Yeah, 2.5. 1.5. I mean, 1.5 by 1.5.
Okay.
And we'll frame that, and then we'll wrap the whole thing. It's aluminum, white aluminum.
Okay.
Put a weather seal on against the door to keep the cold wind out of the garage.
So then the J just goes on the inside of this 1x.
Correct. And then
Okay.
your brick.
Oh yeah, the brick.
See, normally
That's our brick.
on normal houses, I only do a 1x here. But since you got that brick and it's sticking out further, I wanted to go, another inch and a whole inch and a half to kind of cover that.
Okay, so this is an abnormality. So if we were not putting brick here,
Just use a 1x2 here.
the 1x2 here.
Just take this and put it in.
Got it. Okay. All right. So just a quick video. We have the 1x, and it's just flush up against the OSB on everything. And on the bottom, we leave a nice gap so the water doesn't start to rot down that board. All right. So this is the finished wood. So once again, if you were not putting stone here, and this was just gonna be vinyl sided, you would just use a 1x2 and not use a ripped 2x4. So the cut side, this is the cut side of the 2x4. You want to have that on the inside or on this side, just so that you always have the same thickness right here. So we made this, I believe it is 1.5. 1.5. So then we'll put the corner for the stonework right here, and then put stone right here.
7.25 and just go past.
Oh, okay. I think that
7.25. We'll come around here. We'll go 1.75 and give us plenty of room.
Okay.
And then back 1.25.
Okay, so then we're going to add all that up, and that's going to be the length that we're going to use to wrap this with metal. So we have the piece of metal bent as we were getting the measurements for it. Then what we found was the length from right here all the way down to the concrete, which was 82.25. But since this concrete slants out for water to shed, right here is another 1/2 inch longer. This is a 1/2 inch shorter towards the garage side. So we already cut that angle. So then from this cut corner, we measure 82.25. So here is 82.25. So we're going to cut, just kind of like what we did with vinyl siding, a little triangle. Use a rapid square to bend. What that will allow is to make a nice bend over right here, so everything overlaps. And we put this up where it's supposed to be. This overlap above this piece about a 1/2 inch. So we're just going to cut that out so that the top piece that we put up here will go over nicely. There is it put on. So as you can see, that goes at an angle all the way down to the concrete. You just need a couple nails in there, just 3 or 4. How that bends over, and then we cut it right on top there. All right, we have all of the sides done. So as you can see, it's rounded at an angle, so it's tight here. It's a 1/2 inch longer here so that we don't have a nice awkward gap. Just put a couple nails in, and then we have this bent over here, overlap on the side, so we're going to put the other piece on right on top.
So we have that overlap. We'll go right. We've got to get rid of this.
So this is 1.5 inches, which is the measurement of the ribbed board we have on the side of the garage. We're just going to cut that out. We're going to leave this side, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that'll slide right up into that piece that we bent with our rapid square.
But I don't cut all the way to here.
Mm-hmm.
Come to here, because in case there's like a little hole there or something, that'll cover that up.
Okay. Another thing to do is to mark where their screws are at on this board, because you do not want to put a nail right where that screw's at, because then you're going to bend this trying to get the nail out, and then you left a hole that you can't fill. So this is what we cut out, that 1/2 inch we cut out to make room for this. Then we cut that 45. Then we just cut just a little bit shy, just so we make sure there's no opening here. We made this little piece, what is it, an 1/8 inch wider, because this piece will overlap the first piece we put on because it wasn't long enough to go over the whole garage door. So we'll show you that. And then so this part right here is just a little bit thicker to make room so we can go over this piece. This opening isn't a big deal because we're going to put a drip edge that'll come down and hook over it, cover that all up. All right, so this is a great example of as to why we do an offset angle. Like instead of running from right here all the way there, because if we would have ran that 45 from here to there, it would have left big, awkward, ugly openings. So that's why we offset a 1/4 inch and then run to here. Now I know that's all open, but we're going to put a drip edge that covers this all up. All right, so it is fully complete. So now we have that drip edge, okay? And what we wanted to make sure is that the drip edge does not stop at the same spot. So like this is that short piece right here. We want to make sure the drip edge goes way over here. We don't want a short drip edge right by this. It could just be potentially problematic, but it has that drip edge nicely covers up that open spot. And then after it warms up, we can just take and use some quad and fill up that. That's no big deal. Same with these kind of thing. Okay, so that's kind of it in a nutshell.